The articles of incorporation of a company are like its legal skeleton. The bylaws of a company are like its organs, which allow it to function. A company's articles and bylaws can be compared to the Constitution and laws of a country. As for the American corporation, its articles of incorporation may have different names, depending on the state in which it was created. We therefore generally speak of Certificate of Incorporation, Articles of Incorporation, or Corporate Charter. The articles of a corporation generally contain the following elements. Element number 1, the name of the corporation. Element number 2, the name and address of the corporation's registered agent in the state. We will see a little further what a registered agent is. Element number 3, the nature of the corporation's activities. Often, the activities of an American corporation are described in a general way. Element number 4, the authorized capital of the corporation. This refers to the number of shares that the corporation is entitled to issue, as well as the classes of shares and the par value of these shares, if any. The nominal value of a share, often referred to as a par value, is the value determined in the Articles of Incorporation. The par value generally has no relationship with the actual value of the share. In practice, the par value is often lower than the actual value. In most cases, the Articles of Incorporation provide that common shares have no par value. Element number 5, the name of the incorporator. This is the natural or legal person who prepares, signs, and submits the incorporation documents to the state. For example, CorpoMax is the incorporator of its customers' new corporations. Element number 6, any other provision listing the rights, powers, and obligations of the directors, officers, and shareholders of the corporation, or the limits on their rights, powers, and obligations. For their part, the bylaws of a corporation are named bylaws, one word, or bylaws, two words separated by a hyphen. The bylaws of a corporation contain a series of provisions that usually deal with the following subjects: the corporation's head office and place of business, how, where, and when meetings of shareholders are to be held, how, where, and when meetings of directors are to be held, the shares and dividends, the general administration of the corporation, the corporation's books, records, and seal, and the procedure for amending the bylaws. As for an LLC, its articles can also have a variety of names, depending on the state in which it was created. Generally, they are referred to as Articles of Organization, Certificate of Formation, or Certificate of Organization. The articles of an LLC generally contain the following elements. Element number 1, the name of the LLC. Element number 2, the name and address of its registered agent in the state. Element number 3, the nature of its activities, once again described in general terms. Element number 4, the name of its organizer. This person's role is identical to that of the incorporator. A corporation is incorporated, while an LLC is organized. Element number 5, any other provision listing the rights, powers, and obligations of the managers and members of the LLC, or the limits on their rights, powers, and obligations. Unlike a corporation, an LLC does not have bylaws. Instead, we refer to an operating agreement. Again, the operating agreement can have a variety of names, depending on the state in which the LLC was created. Generally, it is referred to as LLC agreement or operating agreement. The operating agreement of an LLC contains a series of provisions that usually deal with the following subjects: the LLC's place of business, how, where, and when meetings of members are to be held, how, where, and when meetings of managers are to be held, the capital of the LLC, the profits and losses, the admission and withdrawal of a member, the dissolution and winding up of the LLC. Finally, here are 3 points you should remember. Point 1. U.S. lawyers recommend that the articles should not indicate the names of directors, officers, or shareholders of a corporation, or the name of the directors and members of an LLC. It is preferable that this information, which is subject to change over time, should instead be recorded in the company's minutes. This approach also ensures greater discretion. Point 2. The exact nature of the activities of a corporation or an LLC is almost never specified in the articles. At most, there is a general description, which gives the company a great deal of latitude. Point 3. In general, the operating agreement of an LLC can be written in any language. It can even be verbal. In the latter case, U.S. lawyers raise the fact that a verbal operating agreement may pose significant evidentiary problems if a dispute arises between the parties involved.